I do follow Neil Patel. I subscribe to
Okay,
his videos on YouTube. I find them really informative, and he updates a lot of his content as well, and
right.
he talks about things that are very relevant now because digital is changing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another insightful marketing thought leader interview. In today's marketing interview, we are going to meet Deeksha Iyer Maudgal. She is currently the head of digital marketing at Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, and she has done her MBA from Seoul, Korea, and she has plenty of international exposure via an exchange program at ESSEC Business School in Paris. Diksha has also worked in digital marketing field with global renowned leading MNCs like Aditya Birla Group, Tata, Mahindra, Yahoo, Viacom 18, and Piramal Group. So welcome Diksha, welcome to our digital marketing thought leader interview series. So shall I start your interview with my first question?
Yes, please.
Great,
Thank you
great.
for
So
having
my
me.
first question is, when was the first time you experienced the power of digital marketing, and how did you feel about digital marketing at that time?
So I think we all would agree that digital marketing is very powerful. For me, it's quite a literal example that I have where my first job that I got was from a Facebook post. So that itself,
Great,
the power of the company, marketing themselves as this place that you must join and walk in for interviews. So it was a great connect of digital with the offline, and I walked in and things went well, and that was the beginning of my digital career. So that was really the first moment where I could see that this thing is powerful. This was back in 2009, so things were just starting up. But then a little bit later, when I was working with Viacom, it was a bit of a servicing and a marketing role as well. So we had this app, Facebook app that we were making called Woodland MTV Ecolution. So it was a content partnership between MTV and Woodlands. So Woodlands is known; it's an apparel brand for more outdoorsy stuff. So they wanted to do something which was giving back as well. So the partnership was with Give India, an NGO, and the whole idea was that if you plant a tree online anywhere from that you are in India, we will plant a tree on ground. So it was taking advantage of the fact that people in India in different cities are extremely competitive. So we put out a post saying, hey, Delhi has planted 5,000 trees. Come on, Mumbai,
great.
show us what you've got. So that was a really great initiative, and that actually showed me the power of digital for good, because eventually we ended up planting those trees on the ground. um, Another the last example I have is with Hippo chips. So Hippo had said that if they put out a tweet saying, if you see in any of the stores that you're visiting, the kirana stores, and Hippo chips do not exist, then put us a tweet, and we will replenish the goods from that kirana store. So that also, like I said, it was back in the in the early days, and so all of these things were very showcasing the power of digital and showcasing what all it can do for good.
Great. Uh, I saw your LinkedIn profile today and I found that you have mentioned currently learning about the Bharat of India. So it really made me emotional. Like, I mean, it's such a great honor that you are working with India's one of the best organization. So can you share something about what are you building for Bharat of India?
So with Mahindra Tractors, actually, I am currently, that's what I meant by Bharat of India, because it's my first stint in rural marketing, and so in that sense, it's a whole different ball game, because 10 years of my career has been in pure play urban marketing. So in that sense, the Bharat of India, is so many different countries all in one.
Yeah,
It's our country is huge, and it's really opened up my eyes to the different kinds of marketing that you do. The difference with rural marketing also is that you have to be very careful with how you're spending your budgets. Unlike in some of the other companies I work for, where you know there's a lot of experimentation. With rural marketing, you know exactly who you're targeting. You know that the audience on digital likes certain things. Their interests are very well known. um, you have maybe a smaller pool that you can go to, even in terms of content partnerships, etc. So in that sense, the Bharat of India, trying to reach out to them is quite challenging. um, but that being said, I think one of the bigger projects that I've been working on is on Google My Business. So that is something where I had to create websites for more than 1,000 dealers of Mahindra Tractors,
Oh, great.
and that, you can imagine, is pretty challenging. So that is something that I'm working on. Then apart from that, managing the website, the corporate website, the whole revamp, setting up the blogs, FAQs, all of these things in terms of cleaning things up at home, and then also in terms of media buying, media planning, SEO, SEM. So that is something that I'm working on.
Great. My next question is like, what do you think is your greatest achievement in digital marketing till date?
So there have, like you said, my career is more than 12 years now.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of different things that I've worked on. I've done many auto expos with Tata Motors,
Mhm.
managed even the BTL for IPL. So you can imagine being in charge of the tickets.
Right.
Everyone asking me, probably wanting to have lunch with me just to get a ticket for the IPL.
Okay.
So there have been a lot of interesting things that I've worked on in my career. The most um, interesting thing initially also was to knock on doors, do a lot of cold calling, and trying to sell people films and websites. And it was quite intimidating to be in front of marketing CMOs, and try to explain to them, first of all, what is digital marketing.
Right.
So from them there to now, I think I would have to go back to Google My Business, which I just talked about. That is really important in, again, when I mentioned about rural marketing and spending your money wisely. This is basically, long story short, is if someone Googles find a Mahindra tractor near dealership near me, then the website has to come up, which is of the dealership that's near you. Not
Right.
just that, that information has to be updated. It cannot be, you have to have the timings correct, you have to
Right.
have the phone number correct. And doing it for 1,500 dealers is not an easy task. um, so that, I would have to say, is the greatest achievement, because we had to set up seminars with the dealers, trying to first explain the use case, trying to ensure that once it was all live and ready to go, that we tried a few email marketing tactics, where we would say, look, this dealer is doing these many calls, and the because that system would record all of the calls, and also we would be able to track how many people were called back if there was a call missed. Those kinds of things, we would kind of ensure that dealers were more and more interested in trying to get their website live as well. So that was, I think, a more recent, I don't know if the greatest, but one of the greater ones more recently.
Right. Uh, my next question is about the rural Bharat. Like, according to you, in what kind of situations conventional marketing techniques like newspaper or TV are still valuable, like the campaigns which you are working? Do you think like still we should use newspaper or TV for the kind of brand which you are promoting?
So I think, in terms of, first of all, in terms of awareness, reach, and then also in terms of credibility, your
Mhm.
brand, especially in our country, does need to be seen on newspaper, TV, and radio, outdoor, very important. Because so just think about it. If you picture, a massive billboard on in Bandra, and the kind of impact that it has on you, I think that is not going anywhere. We're all spending a lot of time stuck in traffic,
Right.
and we're all traveling quite a bit. So I think that impact, that seeing a television commercial, you actually start thinking in terms of credibility. The other point that I mentioned is, when you see an ad being on TV, you maybe even start thinking that, hey, it's impressive that this brand seems like they're very rich. They
Yeah.
have a lot of money that they're spending on TV ads. They're spending on hoardings. So I think in terms of credibility, also, it's not going anywhere. Indians do like to, the whole persona of a brand, the feeling that it's aspirational. Um, that still very much drives us, whether it's urban or rural marketing. So I don't think that it's going anywhere. I think it's a very important step in the funnel. And yeah, and thinking of a world where if you remove it completely, just hypothetically, and if we're all just on our cell phones, then we'll be completely spoiled for choice. We wouldn't know where to start,
Right.
right? Like I wouldn't know whether to choose between a Tata or a Toyota,
Right.
right? I'd have to start from scratch. But if I see that there are companies that are advertising quite a bit, then that probably, it may not make me buy a car tomorrow, but 5 years down the line, I might remember that beautiful billboard that I saw and say, okay, let me check that brand out.
Right. You have said correctly. Uh, you have worked with multiple brands. So, how do you think digital marketing for B2B is different from digital marketing for B2C?
So in B2B, it is going to be a much longer process. I think you'd have to be a lot more patient as a marketer
Right.
to see results. With Mahindra Tractors, the farmer is the customer. He has his own business. He has his own farm to manage. There's all kinds of things he requires apart from just a tractor. So that process is going to be a lot more calculated if you compare to a consumer, wanting to buy makeup. It's poles apart in that sense, because as someone who wants to buy a new lipstick, um, I am the sole decision maker. I don't need to consult anyone. The price of the lipstick versus the price of a tractor is not even comparable. So I can buy myself that lipstick, and it's delivered tomorrow. With the B2B, it's a much longer process, and rightly so, because it's a very structured process. You have to, you are probably not the sole decision maker. You'll probably save it for later, that you've seen an ad from this company, and maybe evaluate along with other vendors. There'll be a whole matrix set up. So in that sense, I think it is very different. From the marketing perspective, again, I mentioned this a little bit, that experimentation is definitely possible a lot more in terms of B2C marketing in compared to B2B. With B2B, you don't have a lot of, let's see how this works, right? And I'm speaking more generically. I know that you can experiment to some extent, but not as much as in B2C marketing.
Right. You mentioned like you have, around 1,500 plus partners for whom you are building local pages. So I hope you must have done experimentation with few of them, and they must have received some positive lead generation thing. So how successful is this activity? Did you find that, okay, this is helping distributors, or I should say the agency owners of these tractors, to have a larger database of leads or the people who are interested to buy their products?
Yeah, I think it is extremely, it has been an extremely important project. It's been an eye opener, because already, the insight that was coming in was that on the corporate website, we were getting a lot of calls. So in rural marketing, email is not a big thing at all. We would focus on the calls, the routing of the calls, so that from the consumer's perspective, it's not such a long drawn out process, was becoming a little problematic. And that was something that needed to be solved, and GMB did that pretty fast. So yes, I do think that the number of calls that are coming in are quite amazing. People are going, it's hyper local is not the next thing, it's the now thing.
Right.
So I think it has been a really amazing project that shows you that something that you might think is actually pretty simple, um, it makes such a big difference. And we did all of the things. So a lot of a result of doing this GMB, a lot more traffic on the corporate website. So we had to clean up, we had to create more FAQs. We had to do you had to clean up the living room before we started cleaning the bedrooms.
Right.
So that is another learning that brought upon, the GMB gave us. So yeah, so I think there are, I think in every manufacturer's case that is doing this, there will be some dealerships that are more forthcoming. There will be some that are a little on the lazier side, and the non-believers. But these are the kinds of tactics that you can use to get things going. We have a lot of feedback sessions. We have a lot of which are implemented, and it's on digital. Everything can be developed, everything can be changed. So that is something that we do take very seriously, that if anyone has any updates in mind, or you know I also want a blog section on
Right.
my website, everything is taken into account and is respected.
Okay. And this project you're doing with your in-house team, or you have hired an agency?
There's an agency
Okay.
working.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend between outsourcing digital marketing to an agency or doing it in-house?
I think I do know some companies that are trying to do it in house, but I do think that you should go the agency way. There are some things in terms of the strategy of your brand. If you're on the client side, do not outsource that.
Right.
Understand that really well. What is your own strategy? What is the market research that you have? Don't expect your agency to do that, because what happens is they'll probably pick up on one or two things that might be true, but they will never know the full story. The kind of data that you have access to, as the brand, they will never really have, unless they've been working on it for 20 years, etc. um so I think that is one thing. Do it, go ahead and work with agencies, because they are the ones with such a wide knowledge base. But ensure that you keep the strategy to yourself and the market research to yourself. So for example, in one of the auto companies I was working with, there was a marketing research team that would come every single month, and all of the agencies, traditional media as well as digital agencies, were invited for that meeting. Everyone in the marketing team had to attend, and those were extremely helpful, because that sets the tone, and you're looking at pure figures, pure facts, and nothing can be better than that.
Right. Uh, my next question is about your favorite digital marketing channels or techniques. So, what is your favorite channel, like LinkedIn, SEO, Facebook ads, and why?
So I would have to say, paid ads.
Right.
And this holds true for whether you're a small business, you're a medium, or a large. I think, you know when you have a certain amount of budget, you want to see results. That's the way to go. Paid ads. I am always paid ads, including SEM and display if you have a little extra money. I am always a fan, and I'm always just, flabbergasted by the power of retargeting. I think that that's amazing. So I use that a lot. I think that is my number one. If you want to do one thing and nothing else, do that. um and then, so that's the must have. Then the good to have are the social media, are the email marketing. If you have an actual reason to do it, if you're planning to add value in some way, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, you're just being a bother.
Okay. Uh, so next question is about your interest, as you said, the online ads. So why do you think like most of the marketers bet heavily on online ads as part of their digital marketing strategy? Like, does it give instant results just because of that reason? We focus more on online ads, or do you think that the resource allocation including like budget distribution uh, between online ads and SEO is justified? Shall we also focus more on SEO because SEO is a long-term vision, but then it also gives results?
Mm-hmm. So with SEO, it is extremely important how your page is ranking. It is a well-known fact that the first result, 1/4 of all of the traffic is going to click only on the first result and not go beyond. So it is free, right,
Right.
to do SEO. Um, so in terms of ROI, obviously it's therefore number one. But the issue with SEO is that you need time and you need patience. For me as well, especially when you're starting off with SEO, it can get a little bit frustrating because it's not as exciting, right? When you think of digital marketing, especially when you compare it with the traditional, which we are all used to, um, you think of digital as being fast paced. I'll be able to see the results, I'll be able to find out the clicks, the impressions. I'll be able to deduce all kinds of different insights from this, and then work accordingly for my next campaign. With SEO, you don't have that luxury. With paid ads, you do. I think for marketers, it is, and something that just comes naturally to us, that I, have got 50,000 leads from this campaign. Just being able to say that is very, it feels like we can sleep well at night.
Right.
With SEO, it is not like that. I feel SEO managers have a very tough job. But then again, I do think that things are changing. I'm just comparing my own experiences with SEO from when I first started out to now. People are definitely paying more attention. I would even go to the extent of saying that 50% of my time is spent on SEO currently.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Uh, my next question is about the usage of technology in today's marketing. So, what do you think is the role of technology in marketing in today's world? And would you like to share an example in which technology is efficiently leveraged for the success of marketing? Like, are you using some technology for your marketing campaigns?
Sure. So technology, I think the role of technology is about efficiency. It's about
Right.
high productivity, less wastage in terms of the amount of effort that you're putting into to the marketing campaign, the amount of expenses as well. So I do have some examples that I really have appreciated. So there's this. I'm really into music. So there's a very popular lady called Doja Cat. And so she had this song called Woman that she was releasing. So she partnered with Girls Who Code. It's this organization. And what she did was there's a separate website that you can go to, and you can actually interact with this video that Doja Cat has created called Woman. And you can, change the color of Doja Cat's nails in the video.
Oh,
You can find all kinds of Easter eggs in the video that you would not have seen otherwise on YouTube. So just by doing a little bit of coding, so it was a really interesting way, not a lot of time and effort wasted, great use of technology. And then what a great thing that you're teaching um, girls and boys to start coding, and showing them that it's very interesting, and you can see results very quickly. And it's something that a 5-year-old could also do. So that is one example. Then I also really loved Budweiser's tag words. So Budweiser realized that they had a lot of these images floating around on the internet of amazing artists like Elvis Presley, David Bowie, the Rolling Stones, with holding Budweiser cans. But what they realized was that they would have to pay them millions of dollars to actually access those images and pay for those images and make it their own. So they did a campaign where they said, look at these keywords, just type out these particular keywords, and then you will be able to access these different amazing classic pictures. So again, very little investment required, and such an amazing campaign. And then the last campaign, because I do care about campaigns that are doing good, is the Pedestal project. So
right.
the Pedestal project used augmented reality, and so there were these Confederate statues that were pulled down in the U.S. during the whole George Floyd, Black Lives Matter protest. And so the pedestals, it was all empty because the statues were all had been taken down. So you could use augmented reality. You had to just download an app,
Mhm.
and you would see the real activists, the activists of today, and you could hear their speech. You could interact with it. You could record a video and share it on your social media. So that was kind of a really nice idea, I felt, done by an Indian. So very proud, that where it was doing some good, and replacing the Confederates with the the winners and the activists of today.
Right. Uh, the next question is about your career. Like you started in other department and then you shifted to digital marketing. So do you recommend that freshers should consider digital marketing for building their career? And what is your advice for newbies?
I think so. I started off in sales, business development, but it was a digital a shop. So, uh, like I said, I was selling films and advert films and websites and microsites and things. So that wasn't exactly a completely unrelated thing, but yeah, I think sales and marketing do go hand in hand. uh, the advice that I have for freshers is, um, a lot of it is about communication. A lot of it is about being your ability to write. So if you can, reach out on all of these different intern websites that offer internships in terms of writing. You don't have to write only digital ads. In fact, go ahead and start with writing films and ads. It'll give you a lot of practice for your digital marketing efforts, because the number of ads that where we have to write these days, because targeting is on another level. Like, we're able to target based on interest, we're able to target based on languages. So copy is going to be a part of your life if you're a
Right.
digital marketer,
Right.
whether you like it or not. So start early. then I think to support that, I think that you should travel. Travel not just to, these fancy places, go to Europe. That's not what I mean by travel. Get outside, learn to be outside and enjoy it. Talk to a lot of people. uh, I think your attitude also should just be a little bit more happy go lucky, a little more forgiving. Relax,
Yeah.
because digital marketing can be stressful.
Right.
But you should just, be zen. And I think also watch a lot of TV, because
Yeah.
my husband jokes that I should work for Netflix because I can predict the end of all storylines. So I think storytelling is really important. You should be able to understand also what is a good story, not just tell your own.
Okay. So do you have in-house digital marketing team?
No, no, don't.
Okay. Okay. So let's say if you are planning to hire freshers in your digital marketing department, what are the top skills other than technical like SE or SEM you would be looking while you hire a person at a fresher level?
I think some of the things that are available currently online, which even I have done, are some tools that you can use to upskill yourself. So I know Digital Vidya is one of them. I know that there are courses being offered there as well. There are all kinds of such websites. Then I think Google also offers some courses. So there's Learn Digital dot with Google. Check that out. Then SEM Rush also has a lot of free courses. And also be updated with what the thought leaders are saying. So on LinkedIn, I follow Jagdish J from Unacademy. I follow Deepak Krishnan from Mintra. And I think it's just really important to be able to have a good conversation. And if you're a fresher and you're at an interview, no one is expecting you to um, have a lot of great experience. But even something as simple as these are the courses I've done and I can talk about them, and here is my summary. Put that also in on your CV. I think people want to hear your thoughts. They want to hear that they want to see that you have potential. So that's where I would start.
Right. So the next question is about your overall day, like how you spend. So how do you stay yourself updated with the latest trends in digital marketing? Do you follow, I mean, you have said like you follow few peoples on LinkedIn. Other than that, do you follow any blogs or websites or apps which you visit regularly?
So I do follow Neil Patel. I subscribe to
Okay.
his videos on YouTube. I find them really informative, and he updates a lot of his content as well. And
Right.
he talks about things that are very relevant now, because digital is changing. Now everybody is talking about AI. Not a lot of people talking about metaverse, but still it is part of the conversation.
Right.
So Neil Patel is one. I also, like I said, Jagdish, and on LinkedIn there are a lot of interesting people that you should definitely follow. um, and I spend, just like the rest of you, I spend 50 to 60% of my time on Instagram.
Great.
So if you're going to be useless, then try and follow some pages like TechCrunch, Adweek,
Right.
Fast Company. Those publishers also do a lot of interesting videos. And yeah, I think that is again a place to start, and then you'll be able to see what you like, and find similar pages.
Right. The next question is about the digital marketing future. Like, how do you see digital marketing evolve in the future? Like, what are the top trends you foresee for 2023 and beyond, which you are planning to, I mean, integrate with your current campaigns?
Okay, so I think AI is a huge thing. I think just in terms of there is an AI um, uh, doing the rounds called DID, where it lets you have face-to-face conversations with AI.
Right.
So for me, as a marketer, I've just worked on a chat bot for Mahindra and things. All of that is going to go away, right? Because customer experience, sales, even,
Mhm.
uh, it can all be replaced by this DID, right? Because I can have a conversation. I can speak in English, I can speak in Gujarati, I can speak in Haryanvi, and it will be able to understand me and actually speak in a way that is familiar to me. So another thing is that it doesn't matter if I'm 30 plus. I could be a 7-year-old child, and it'll be able to understand me. A child cannot type on the cell phone asking questions, but this AI can. If you're disabled in any way, then it's friendly. So I think this is the future. And there are all kinds of other tools, like there's an AI image enlarger. So a lot of times we have really low res images, so it gives you these HD images. Then there's Figma AI, which has pretty much replaced Canva. You can design apps, you can design websites. Then there's another AI tool where you can actually run digital campaigns, called Marco Polo. So there, AI has to be the future. Then, in terms of social media, I think a big disruptor was Be Real. This is that app that uh, every once in a while it'll surprise you and say that you have 2 minutes to take a photo of what you're doing right now, right? And it'll take a photo of like a selfie, and then it'll also show what is going on behind in front of you. So I think those kinds of apps are also, it's very telling that people do want to get away from on social media as well, from, I wouldn't call it fake, but presenting the picture that is very controlled. People want to shift from that. So I think brands also have to take notice of that, and start their storytelling as well in a more different way, rather than just saying, here's my product, buy it.
Right. Uh, the next question is about your choice. So, if you were given the power to make one change in digital marketing industry, what would you do?
I think the change that I would make, and based on some of the challenges that I've had, is to battle hierarchy. I think the respect that someone who's been 2 years in the industry, and someone who's been in the industry for 12, um, the respect has to be equal. I do think that we have a bit of an issue there. I think Indians are very sir and madam. Just, all of this, it just does not have any place in digital marketing, because the Gen Zs are the real kings and queens. They're the ones who have been born into the mobiles. Mobiles belong to them.
Right.
So learn from them, be open to criticism, don't go on the defensive. Just learn, scan their mobile phones, find out what apps they're using,
Right.
download the same apps that they're using, and you'll be able to. I think that's the only way as a digital marketer to stay relevant, is to do what the current generation wants to do.
Right. So, this is my last question now. The last question is about uh, would you like to share a few words about digital marketing education we are imparting at Digital Vidya? I hope you must have seen our blog or our website. So,
Mhm.
we are into this industry since 2009, and we have trained more than 95,000 plus students. and even helped business owners and made few people freelancers also, and they're doing very well. Uh,
Mhm.
so I just want to hear your thoughts about Digital Vidya.
So for me, I think the biggest wow factor of Digital Vidya is the boot camps. The fact that you're doing trainings for 3 months, I think,
Yes,
for
yes.
9 hours a day is impeccable. Um, I would love to join this boot camp just to get a refresher. So I think that that is also the fact that you're saying that if you're not happy with the placement that you get, then we'll refund you 100%, plus the fact that most of the cost that they have to incur actually comes towards the end of the entire course. I think that shows your confidence, and that is pretty impressive to me. I think it shows that you've had a lot of successes, and so yeah, I appreciate the boot camps.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Diksha. This is our Bharat for India, like boot camp. This is what we are aspiring, that we shall empower more people who want to become digital marketers, so that we can help them to become future leaders. So, with this note, I want to complete this interview. So, thanks a lot. Thank you for
Thank
giving your time, and wish you all the best for your career. So, thank you,
thank you.
guys. Thank you. And we can complete this session now. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.